Well, welcome back everyone.
Hi.
So in this video we're going to show you some, we're going to spray foam the floor, the two ceilings on the Conexes, and what else we got going on this week?
Hopefully we're going to get some wood brought in and get this floor done on.
So Magnus is coming to spray, so, and his nephew Magnus, and they're from
Finland.
Norway.
Oh, okay.
Is it Norway or Finland?
I thought it was Finland.
Okay. Anyway, that's where the name comes from. I think he says that in the video. We do a quick chat with him. But my shirt here is from my grandson. He's my biggest fan. Landon watches us every week, sometimes twice, 3 times a week. And then, of course, Ed and Lorna, they're big fans, especially Lorna. And my brother, he's a huge fan.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if he loves me or just loves the channel more, but...
He just wants to see what his big brother's doing.
And we have some new subscribers, and we have some regular followers. So Leonard, if you're watching, hello. Pam, welcome to our channel recently, and hello. And there's lots of others that are starting to follow, so we appreciate that. And we'll get going here and let you see the video, and then we'll get back with you. Well, we're going to spray our shop today with closed cell spray foam insulation. So Magnus is going to be coming and doing the floor and the 2 ceilings on each Conex today, and then we're going to build the walls, and he's going to come back and do the walls and the ceiling. So let me just give you a quick view here before we start. This is a new 40-foot Conex. Doors on both ends, kind of nice. And I'll give you a quick view of the floor. So we sawed all of our own lumber, of course, as you can see. And we didn't need all the extra supports, but we had the time and the lumber, so we decided to put them in, because we are going to have some planer, joiner, and table saw, some heavy equipment in here, so we want to make sure the floor was good and stout. And then we had some old metal roofing, so actually Jill put most of that up herself. There was a couple spots in there I helped her, but put up the metal roofing underneath, and that's going to stop the foam from going down, of course. And he's going to spray 4 to 5 inches in the floor, and we're going to do the ceilings in the Conexes. So this Conex here is the one that has the bifold doors that the entire side will open up. And we have some fiber rock underlayment board in there we purchased. Got a good bargain on, so we bought 2 full skids. And he's also going to spray the ceiling in here 1 inch. And really don't need it, just it'll take the echo out of the Conexes, and it'll also help with moisture. The spray foam is a moisture barrier. And then give you a quick view of Pinnacle Mountain up there, our old forklift. So he's going to do that today, and then when he comes back, we are going to do the walls in the shop and the ceiling. And we may do the walls in one Conex, and we'd have an insulated Conex, and then if we decided ever for future use, we could have a little dry kiln in there, and we're also going to store lumber in the one Conex for our own use. So we have some hardwoods and different lumber we're going to be storing in there, so we want it nice and dry. And the beauty of the spray foam is it seals every little nook, cranny, and crack, so there's no drafts. So he's going to be doing that today, and when he gets here, we'll show you him setting up and get some shots of him spraying, and maybe he'll answer a few questions for us. So stay with us. Well, Magnus is here this morning to do some spray foam insulation, and I'm going to let Jill do a little bit of talking here, and we'll get started.
Okay. This is Magnus and his nephew Magnus. They're here to put the foam in our building on the floor and on the ceiling. Here is, they are with
Foamology.
Foamology. Okay.
And they're out of Anchorage, Alaska.
Yep. And they're coming to do the floor of the she shop. And also, I believe the ceilings on both of our Conexes today.
Yep.
And then once we get our floor in, then we'll do the ceiling and some other walls and that kind of stuff. So, how did you guys get started doing this?
Well, so I started out almost 11 years ago spraying truck bed liners, kind of like you see here, and so I did that for 3 to 4 years. Occasionally, the owner of the company would have a buddy building a house or something, and we would drag our machine out into a trailer, and they would throw me in the house on a Saturday and just kind of have me figure it out. And I kind of fell in love with it. I thought it was fun, it was enjoyable, you got to do something cool. Mm-hmm. And so then I went and sprayed foam and coatings on fishing boats out in Bristol Bay and down in Bellingham, Washington. And I did that for a while, and then I recently, for the last 5 years, worked for a big insulation and spray foam company based out of Anchorage. And just this past year, I decided to break out on my own. Actually, bought all the equipment I needed, got everything set up, and so here I am. It's been a fun start.
Yeah, well, it's good to see that a young people starting into a business, and they shouldn't be afraid to start and try something, and it's going to turn out well for them. It's a high demand, and spray foam is getting more and more popular, of course, as people learn more about it. It's been around for years, as I understand. And
yeah,
one of the things that I learned 35 years ago, if I can make somebody else money, I can make it for myself. And that's when I started my own businesses, and have never earned a paycheck in 35 years. I've earned many, but not a paycheck.
Yeah, it's much more rewarding, I think. Sometimes it's,
and
there's...
You see why I have to work so hard? 35 years she hasn't earned a paycheck. So let's take a walk into the trailer here.
Absolutely,
show you
yeah.
what we got going on.
I got some things I'm going to take care of while you guys go do that.
So we'll have Magnus explain a little bit about the foam and how it works here.
Yep. So this is my spray foam reactor. This basically just proportions the chemical, because we're spraying at a 1-to-1 mixture of A and B product. As you see back here, we have our B side, the resin, and our A side, the isocyanate. And once they mix together, they make foam. And inside here is where all the magic happens. This is the latest and greatest spray foam gun.
Now, how do you spray and not get gunk all over? If I had this, I'd have foam everywhere.
I spend an hour cleaning it every day when I get done. And so here is our mix chamber. We're actually getting one chemical in through that hole and one chemical in through that hole at about 1200 psi, and they mix together in here and come out there, and then you have spray foam.
So that's pretty high pressure. I did not realize it was that high a pressure. When they're spraying, it doesn't look it. So 1200 psi, that's getting up near hydraulic hose pressure. Some wood splitters aren't much more than that. So it gives you kind of an idea. It is kind of high pressure. And obviously, of course, you have all the hose.
Yep. And the hose is actually heated all the way through, so your chemical is warm all the way through the hose up until the time when it enters the gun and comes out.
So it has to stay a certain temperature as you're spraying?
Yep. So there's some big heater modules back there that basically preheat all the material as it's coming into the machine. All your temperatures adjusted here, your hose heat, preheaters, and then the hose basically just keeps it warm.
Yep. So one thing that we thought about doing is doing it ourselves. You can buy the spray kits. I know some of the box stores have spray kits like little propane tanks. And you can do that yourself, and for a really small project it may pay. But like here, well, we've done some figuring, just the Conex roofs. I can't buy the material and spray it for what Magnus is going to spray these for. They normally charge by the board foot, which is kind of like the lumber business. It's square foot, an inch thick. It's kind of a board foot. So that's normally how they kind of charge and figure things for price. And the other thing is, they're doing the work and we are not. They're going to, Magnus is going to spray it, and he's got his nephew here to help him tape off some plastic. And Jill and I can be doing some firewood or doing other things. So when we sit down, of course, you know, Jill does accounting work. When we do the math, it's much more economical. These people are professionals, we are not. And they're going to do a super job, and we're going to actually show them spraying some foam here. So that's kind of why we didn't really want to do it ourselves. We thought about it, actually looked into it quite seriously, but when it gets right down to this big of a project, much more economical to have these guys come and do it. So if you're considering spray foam, look to have your professionals be doing that.
So spray foam is definitely one of the things I think is better left to the professionals. You know, you can go and get your froth packs like Jeff mentioned, but they end up being really expensive, and you have to do it yourself, and they always have problems. And the most important thing with spray foam is that your A and B are combined on ratio. You know, if you end up with more B side than A side, or more A side than B side, you're going to experience all sorts of problems. You know, you could have major issues. The biggest problem is that it could leave a smell. And, you know, if you're in your house, you know, it's very important that it's done correctly and by a professional, just for your safety, basically.
So we're going to let him get started here, and then as he gets going, I'm going to actually try to stay out of the way and get some shots. I like to watch this stuff go down too. It's very interesting to see it done. So stay with us, and we'll be back with you, and we'll show him getting going here. Well, we'll go out and see how he's doing here. I haven't been out since he started, so it might be a little bit noisy. And as you can see, he's got a generator in the back and his air compressor. So it looks like he's going. So as you can see, Magnus is taping this off. And we forgot to mention earlier, Magnus, they're telling us, is a common name in Norway. So that's where they both got their names from. So we thought it was an unusual name, but kind of cool, really. To know a little bit of the history of the people from Norway. So as you can see, he's all suited up. Everything's going good. He's got a little gauge here he can check his depth with. So we'll stay out of his way and let him keep going. Make it look easy, but it's a little harder than it looks, kind of judging how much foam is going in. As you can see, that swells right up, fills every little nick and cranny, so there'll be no drafts. We have to keep Miss Jill nice and warm this winter while she's working in her she shop, as she calls it. So, the things a guy won't do for his wife, huh? Well, stay with us. We'll be back here as he gets another coat or two on. Well, we'll take you out back here, try to stay downwind from this. We'll sneak up on Magnus and see how he's doing. I'm sure it takes a little practice for Magnus to figure out exactly spraying. Well, he's putting in a full 4 inches here, so as you can see, he's doing a recoat. And the other advantage of the spray foam is it structurally enhances the building itself. So on a stick framed home, if you do the floor, the walls, and the roof, they say it actually increases the strength of the building up to 300%. So here in an earthquake zone, that's going to help us out. If we have an earthquake, it really stabilizes the building quite a bit. And same way with the Conexes. Now, when he does the roof on a Conex, we're covered here, so we don't have to worry about the snow load. But if you weren't and you just had an open Conex, by spraying that foam, it actually makes the building structurally more sound. It'll take more weight. So having that experience on our barn is when we learned, just from experience, how much stronger the building was, because the barn walls were metal sided. On the pole barn style was on 10-foot on center, so it was a little bit flexible. After they sprayed that 1.5-inch foam on the barn walls, they're like concrete. Unbelievable, really, how much it strengthens the building up. And soundproof is another advantage also. So we'll let Magnus get back to work here, and we'll be back with you. As you can see, he's checking the depth with his gauge there. And I offered to have some stringer runner boards down to move for him, but he said, oh, you can walk on the joist. I can't hold my balance. So he's just walking around on top of the joist. So as you can see here, his gauge. And then the other thing is this foam, when he's done spraying this, we're actually going to start putting the subfloor down tonight on the building. It doesn't have to set just a few minutes, and it's ready to enclose if we choose to do so. And I was going to ask Magnus too. The new foam, by the way, people ask about R value per inch. So the older foam, to my best of my knowledge, was about 6 R value to the inch. This foam he's spraying is actually 6.9 per inch R value, and they have some new foam out that's even more. Now of course it's more expensive, but they're spraying less inches and getting more R value as technology progresses, of course. So this is a little better foam than we actually sprayed 3 years ago. So instead of using 5 inches in the floor, we only have to use 4. And when we get a break, I'll ask Magnus about that. Maybe he can give us a more honest and knowledgeable answer. And Pete, if you're watching, you know we're feeding Magnus and his nephew today for lunch. We are having moose burgers, some tater tots, and Joe made a homemade Mexican wedding cake, which is pineapple, coconut in a cake with cream cheese frosting. So they're going to have a treat. We asked him about the moose burgers and he was all for that. So if Pete's watching, he'll appreciate what we're talking about on the moose burgers, because they are absolutely delicious the way Joe makes those up. As you can see here, Magnus is putting the plastic up on the walls, and we actually said you didn't have to do that. You could just spray it. We weren't that fussy about getting a little bit of foam on the edge of the walls, but they take pride in their work, obviously, and he said he just takes pride and he wants to do that. It's no extra charge to us. Quite a bit of extra labor, but they don't seem to mind, so we're letting them do it their way. Obviously very nice work. High quality work. Now if I was spraying this, I can tell you right now there'd be no plastic on the walls and there'd probably be foam all over everything. So we'll let them guys handle all that. So on the trailer, Magnus was saying earlier, he spray foamed up the trailer, put some plywood in, kind of customized it. Takes a pretty big generator to operate the motors and the heater. The heater takes a lot of the machine. So as you can see, pretty well organized, clean and neat, and that alone tells you about the contractor in my eyes. And then the other thing, when I answered his ad to get an ad on Facebook, and I called him about an estimate, and he wanted to see the project, came all the way out from Anchorage, which for him is about a 70-mile drive, an hour and 15 minutes out, time to get through the traffic. So he came out and gave us a free estimate, and he was on time. You can see his equipment is clean and neat. He's very professional, so that right there sold me over price. And then when it came down to it, his price is absolutely a great price per square foot. Like I said, less money than I could buy the materials to do it myself. So wanted to mention that, but that's kind of important to me as an older guy, that, hey, that it tells a lot about the person and being a young man, and he takes pride in his work. So and does obviously good quality work. So keep that in mind if you're ever having to do some work or have a contract work done compared to doing yourself. Set your mind to it. You can do about anything. Joe and I can do a lot of things, and we could actually do this ourselves But when it comes down to time, money, quality of work done, this is going to be a much better deal for us. We have to cook them a lunch and taking it down to the shooting range. We're going to do a little shooting afterwards. Get a chance to shoot the handguns a while after work and do a little playing besides work. So he was all for that. As you can see, taking his time, doing it right, no shortcuts. Doing a second coat here on the second row. That's just how I would do it, just not as good. So I think we can talk Magnus into starting his own YouTube channel. He has talked about it, and we're encouraging him to start. It's easy to do. Just takes a little bit of time, a little bit of effort. Well, we'll run out here and see how they're doing again. Looks like he's coming along pretty good. As you can see, this really seals up everything nice. And as you can see, the Conex roof is all done. Amazing work. So this is going to help keep our lumber dry for Miss Jill, and hopefully I'll be getting into some woodworking. My brother does quite a bit of woodworking, but he has nothing else to do, so he has time. So we're out here filming Magnus. I wanted to show you my broccoli. It's coming along very well. couple more days, Jill will be blanching and I'll be vacuum sealing some broccoli. So as you can see, the carrots have come along a long ways here in a week. We got a little bit of rain, they jumped up. The potatoes all jumped up quick. So eating raspberries, so it won't take long. As you can see, we put our garden in a little bit late, and it'll still come along quick now. The warm weather, lots of sunshine and a little bit of rain here. This thing will take right off. So we'll keep you updated on that also. Dave's just finishing up the ceiling. Well, we'll take a look over here at the floor. Just to give you an idea how strong it is, you can walk right on this now. Don't even lay a footprint, makes it strong. So we're going to put the subfloor down. Get the floor and the walls up. He's going to come back in about 4 weeks, and we're going to spray all the walls, and we're going to put 1 inch in the ceiling to seal it, and then we're going to finish it with blown fiberglass. Well, I forgot to mention, I did verify the R value with Magnus. Forgot to add that into the video here, so I thought I'd give you a quick update. They do make that was a 6.9 R value per inch he was spraying. That's the newer foam. They have a foam out that's 7.9 or near 8 now, and that's a little more expensive, he said, but it's more for confined spaces. So if you're in a tight space and need the R value, they do make that insulation. So just kind of a quick update from this is the man shed here, the man cave. A few little toys and trinkets in the background that I do in the wintertime, so Jill can have her little shop and I have mine. Well, we hope you enjoyed the video today. As you can see out there, this is a couple of days later, but it is pouring down rain and foggy, so you can't see the mountain behind us. It's foggy, and we've been busy. We've picked up 7 or 8 loads of wood.
We have.
And some of it's been free, so we'll hope to bring you some of that next week too. Getting lots of wood, been picking up, and the orders this week have been doing really well.
And we've been able to deliver some from the job site.
Yep.
So that's been a good relief.
Yeah, taking some logs directly from the job site to the customer. We've sold a few logs instead of bringing them home, so it's worked out well for us. So we've been busy.
We have been, and it looks like the contractors are calling regularly, so we're going to be humping. For the viewers that don't know, we don't have trucks deliver log lengths to us. We can't get them up here. So we have to go and get the logs, cut them up to length, and then bring them home, which takes up most of our day.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time. So a couple trips, we're going nearly 50 miles. Fortunately, the last couple jobs, the wood's been free. A little bit of cottonwood, we have to take it all and clean it up, but it all works out.
Yeah, but we've been selling a lot of cottonwood.
We have.
Oh.
Yeah, so when Pete had his Eastman made splitter up here, we let him jump on the processor. Then when Joe was on her cruise, if you've seen in our previous videos, Pete came up and processed a bunch of cottonwood. And we just run it on the ground out there and let it dry in the RV park side. And it's been selling. We sell probably about a quart a week for bonfire wood, beer drinking, wood, whatever you want to call it, I guess.
It's whiskey wood.
Whiskey wood. That's the last one the guy says, whiskey wood. So, and you can see we have our little woodhound here. She's, as you can see, she eats well.
But she also likes to travel and go with us when we go and pick up our wood and bring it home and go to the customers. She's right there with us.
So we also, our broccoli's ready. We'll be busy with that at the end of the week here, getting broccoli in the freezer and staying busy.
Yeah, I think summer is coming real close to a close.
So from the Alaska Woodyard, everyone, we keep the sawdust flying. We hope to see you soon.
And thanks for coming along.